Well, you guys come to find out it was just a freako, but not a Rico. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? I don't know if y'all heard the craziness, but Diddy was found not guilty on three of the counts. So one being the racketeering, the RICO, the major one that would have got him life, and then also the sex trafficking when it came to Jane Doe and when it came to Cassie. Mind you, this was one of the big things. If he got charged with the RICO, he would be looking at life. With the transportation to engage in prostitution, that has a 10-year maximum. So he has two charges on that, one for Jane Doe, one for Cassie. That one was more black and white, where it wasn't like, oh, we're going to need to really do any kind of extensive research. Like, he did basically transport to engage with prostitutes. So that was pretty much black and white. With this situation, it's really I feel indifferent, where no matter what side, like, I'm not like, oh yay or boo, he got off. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, the prosecution, I don't think they presented the case very well. Like I said, I felt like there are some key things that they were missing, especially not having Christina or the bodyguards testify. Like, not having them testify or putting them on the stand, questioning them. I think that was a bad look for the prosecution. At first, I thought it was crazy that the defense did not want anyone to testify. I was all like, why wouldn't the defense have anybody testifying? But honestly, they didn't need to, because, yeah, even though Diddy was found guilty, the major one about RICO, he's not looking at life in prison. And I don't think that he's going to do 20 years on this on the two charges for transportation transportation in order to engage in prostitution. I don't think that he's going to do 20 years on that. If anything, it's going to be maybe 5 years, 5 to 7. I think 5 to 7 years. Or when it comes to sentencing, it could just be, oh, well, he served his time, so go ahead and go home. Now, at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they are supposed to let us know if Diddy's going to be able to be free until his sentencing. They have to write, so the defense has to write a note to the judge, basically explaining why he should be out. The judge has to talk to the government to see if Diddy should be released or can be released, because they're still claiming that he's at risk. He can flee the country. I don't think that Diddy's going to flee the country now. That it's kind of no point, because, okay, the charges that were really heavy, where it really would have messed him up, he's not being charged with that no more. So it's kind of like, okay, these little transportation charges, okay, I'll deal with that. Now, the only thing that I can think of is, honestly, he wants to get out of jail so he can have some more Freakoff. I don't think Diddy has changed in that aspect. I think Diddy is still nasty. I think he's still who he is. I think, if anything, He trying to get the hell up out of jail so he can go have another freak off. You know, he can have another freak off. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't care anything about, oh, okay, well, I want to be a changed man. I want to be back with my family. Yeah, I think he loves his family and shit like that. But also, he trying to get his freak on. That's honestly, to tell you the truth. I think that's what he wants to do. If he was doing freak offs all the way up until he got arrested, this man ain't never gonna change. Now, he'll probably engage with people who are willing to have freak offs and who are not going to, change their mind. I hate to put it that way, but he'll have people, he'll have freak offs with willing participants this time. And not ones that he's paying their rent and doing this and that, or people working for him. Because that's a big thing. Because one, Cassie was his employee. Two, Jane was his girlfriend, but was paying, well, no, not even his girlfriend. He was just paying her rent. He'd definitely be with the Jane tonight and she'll go. Exactly. And hell, this is something that I didn't even mention to you guys. But if you have to remember this too, because they asked Cassie if she still loved Diddy, and she said she still has love for him. And if he would have married Cassie and gave her a baby and did all the things, she would have still been with him. That's the sad part. She still would have been with him. Yeah, he did. And I was even saying this too. Like, I don't know if you could call like he was dating these girls. I mean, yeah, he was dating them, but he was also dating other people as well too. Now, Cassie, he did walk the red carpets. He did claim her, but was he honestly the best to her? No, because he was still messing with Kim and the other women. Like, it wasn't like a solid relationship. Like, okay, it's just us together. Now, Cassie could not date other people. We see what happened with Kid Cudi and all this other stuff. Cassie couldn't date other people, but Diddy, he was out there doing his thing. He didn't give a damn. The feds don't care about his prior past. He was convicted of 3 of the charges. There isn't any time considered served. He goes to jail. He was charged with two of the counts, just the transportation, or with the Mann Act. The Mann Act is basically transportation. That's what that is. None of them could date. Yeah, that's the thing. None of them could date, but he could do whatever he wanted to. I think her first child is his. She named. Oh, I remember we talked about this. The Frank. The baby, the first one doesn't look. Diddy has a particular look. His kids look like him. That kid doesn't look like him. So no, I don't think that's his kid. He's gonna have a big party. Not a big party, Stacy. He's gonna have a big freak off. You can call it a party if you want to, but yeah, he gonna have another freak off. That's what he gonna have. Talking about a party, he ain't having no party. He got you. You already know what he doing. I already said what he doing. Damn it. If not just probation. I've heard people throw around probation too. That's a good. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets probation. I would not be surprised because he's already served almost a year. So with the year almost being served, it's kind of like, okay, well, he'll just do 4 additional years. Like, say if he gets 5 years, I do feel like they are going to give him something. I don't think it'll necessarily be probation, like right off the top, but I do feel like they're going to give him something because at the end of the day, he did do a lot of shit. Like, even though they didn't charge him with what he should have been charged with, he did do a lot of shit. And so I think they're going to take into account the stuff that he has done and then sentence him like he got charged with everything. But they have to be fair. They can't just give him 20 years. I think 5 to 7 would be fair in this case. This makes a lot of sense. Why? Remember yesterday they said the defense was pushing for them to whatchamacallit. The defense was pushing them to really work on the racketeering verdict, because the thing is, if it was like a mistrial or they couldn't come out with a decision on the racketeering, they could then retry him. Now they can't retry him because that would be double jeopardy. So that was the reason for the big push for them to do it. And dear Lord, I would not want this shit to go on a second. I wanted this shit to be done from the beginning. You know, I'm thinking 1 to 2 per charge. Oh, okay. So like 4 years max. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. Okay, he already served 1, so maybe additional 4. I could see that. And shout out to Make It Make Sense. I know he wasn't feeling too well today. Make It Make Sense. You didn't even go to the courthouse, huh? You just seen it, huh? Yeah, shout out to you. You've been out there heavy, doing the work, boots on the ground and everything. Shout out to you. Young Miami tweeted 11:11. Oh, Lord. She said, and that's the thing with these women. They still going to go back to now that he's good. I bet you'll see Young Miami back with him. You'll see Jane Doe. Gina, you know, she said the other day, yeah, it was yesterday. Gina said, oh, I don't think he's dangerous, even though you said the man kicked the baby out of you. Oh, I don't think he's dangerous. Who is Carisha? That's Young Miami. You know, it's like the number that you make a wish. Like when people say 11:11, you make a wish. It's supposed to be like, let me get the actual definition of it. Hold on. What does 11:11 mean? 11:11 is often seen as a master number or angel number, signifying new beginning, spiritual awakening, and alignment with one's higher purpose. It's also associated with the idea of manifestation, suggesting that one's thoughts and intentions are aligning with reality. Many believe in that seeing 11:11 is a sign from the universe or spiritual guides urging you to pay attention to your thoughts and make a wish, as it's time of heightened manifestation and potential. So yeah, that's why you make a wish on whenever the clock strikes 11:11. No, I think Jane Doe is still good. I think now that he's gotten off on this, he's going to go ahead and, well, I don't want to say gotten off. Let me change my word, because he's still guilty, but he's not charged with the serious crime. I feel like now he's going to be like, okay, we good, you know, and then she's going to go back to him and continue. Like, do any of us think that he's going to stop these freak-offs? Do we think that he's going to stop this? I don't think he's going to stop it at all. Please play body. I think they took the video down. I don't see the body oil. I remember one time you guys asked me, but I don't see the video no more. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Diddy is going to go on his revenge tour after. I don't know. I know a lot of people said that. I think a lot of his relationships will be different. Definitely. He moving to Bali with. I I can see that. He is addicted. No. Did Tissa want him to walk? No, she definitely didn't. I mean, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, that is wild. I just want to say, leave that girl alone. She just doing her job. She just working. Like, leave her alone. Yeah. She's not the poster child for, the government or anything like that. Well, no, I don't want to say that. No, fuck it. I'm gonna say it. Let that girl make her money. Shit, damn it. You all can make money. Shit. What's up, Miss Barbara? She said, "Hi, did he got away? You meant get away? The only thing they tried to get was his money. He's gonna be released on time served. Okay, so you think time served too? Okay." The Feds didn't lose. They will be on his heels. John Gotti had 3 and 4. Oh, I've heard people saying like this is not it. I was even talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, this is not it. And I was like, no, I think it's it. I know he has the civil cases, but I mean, do we actually believe the civil cases now that we know what Diddy actually is into and what he likes? A few of them, I will say, yeah. A few of the civil cases I can see, but a lot of these, like he rubbed baby oil on me and I passed out. Those, no, throw that shit out. We know that's a lie. Anything from Tyrone Blackburn, Tony Busby, I automatically be like, I don't believe. Just because of their character. Even though Tony Busby does have a victory against Jay-Z, that case was dismissed. He does have a victory. I will give Tony Jerry Curl Busby a nod for that. Okay, you got that one victory, but Jay-Z probably gonna try you again. Puff's still that dude. Diddy has more charges with his son. Those are civil, not federal. Those are civil or criminal, I should say. If the judge agrees with the jury, he will get time served. If the judge disagrees with the jury, he will give him 10. Okay. Gotti was an ongoing mob boss. It's not nearly the same. That lady lawyer had a lot of fakes too. Lady lawyer. There's a few lady lawyers. What Stephanie say? The Mann Act has a racist origin. Yeah, wasn't it? And I know they try to say like race played a role into this as well too. But they still got them for transportation. So I guess they're like, oh, we didn't care about that. Did he beat the federal RICO? Yeah, it was just a Freako, not a RICO. Has anyone heard from Ariel Mitchell? Oh Lord. Remember her and I still remember her and Courtney Burgess went to the grand jury to drop off the tapes or whatever. Nothing ever came of that. One thing I'm happy about this being over with is that a lot of those people who are just lying, trying to get clout, they all gonna go away. They all going away. Like I'm happy about that they all out of here. I mean, if y'all still want to support and believe a lot of these conspiracy theorists, go ahead, be my guest. Just for me, I'm like, nah, I'm done with that. Can't recharge him for the same charges unless they are recommitted. No. I think what they meant was like probably for like other things. Like I'm surprised like there wasn't just a standalone charge for like drugs, him transporting drugs. But I guess because he wasn't like it wasn't like he was pushing weight like selling or anything like that. Now he would distribute by giving people drugs and stuff and then taking the drugs to different places, which is drug trafficking. But he wasn't like the pusher man. He's not a kingpin. I think that's what they're trying to make him. Tissa wanted him to have more serious charges, but that's not the climate of the US right now. That speaks volumes. His charges were reduced from state to fed charges, and the RICO charges were dropped. he'll get time served. Ooh, a lot of y'all think he'll get time served. Wow. Jaguar right hiding. Has Jaguar went? Now I haven't talked about Jaguar in a minute, but I do want to know if she went live. You went live, Jag? Because why didn't Jaguar testify? She said she had all the stuff on her phone, on her watch. Remember? Where's Al? Oh, I seen somebody say Albie Shore. Where Albie Shore at? Yeah, I honestly felt with this case that this was more or less like Diddy done did some fucked up shit. We want to check him. We want to make sure that we put a stop to whatever he's doing because he's been doing reckless shit for a long time and we never got him on anything. So we're gonna try him for this. That's how I kind of feel about the situation. Where's Lamisha? Good question. Mike Jeffries. Yeah. Oh, I didn't update you guys on Mike Jeffries. So Mike Jeffries was the guy from the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. So now he's saying that he's senile and can't remember anything, and so he can't testify. I noticed just like how white people like to be Jane Does, like white people also lie and say they have memory loss and shit like that. What? Honestly, and we just gonna tell the truth. This is a black platform, so we're gonna tell the truth. But it seems like the white people always have memory loss. Why is that? Just like Ron Jeremy, he has memory loss and shit. You know, he has dementia, senile, yeah. And so the Mike Jeffries guy, he's claiming that he's senile and he needs to do a cognitive test and all that. It seemed like white people always lose their mind. What's up with that, Stephanie? Clyde Davis too. Yeah, Clyde Davis. Yeah, they all go senile. Like what? Huh? Why y'all all senile? And especially when when you got a court case, you're gonna win senile. You know, Cosby should both. Listen, Cosby definitely should have been considered senile, but I mean, he got off, so it's whatever. But Suge Knight, yeah, you know, right? Where they at? Where they at? Right, Darcy? We looking for them. Where you at? Where Jack, Audrey, Courtney Bird? Where are they at? Right, right. Diddy didn't snitch. Took on 100 civil lawsuits and beat a Southern District of New York at trial for RICO. Yeah, he didn't. Well, here's the thing. There was nothing for him to snitch. I know a lot of people said like Diddy was going to snitch, but there was nothing for him to snitch because the Freakoff wasn't these large orgy parties that y'all kept on saying they were. Like literally, the Freakoffs was just him and the girls, and with the prostitutes doing their thing in private. Because you got to think about it. Diddy is not out, or he wasn't out at the time. So him, you know, telling people or sharing that with people, they would have judged him. So he didn't want to be judged. I don't care about Diddy. My issue is with how only certain folks are being charged. Why isn't Mike Jeffries behind bars? I agree. He definitely should be behind bars. I can't get behind this, even though I hate to defend Diddy. No, I do feel like there is a large bias, especially when it comes to black people. I definitely do feel like he should be in jail as well, too. And like I said, they're playing the whole senile thing. Like he can't remember anything or nothing. What's up, Sugar Walls? That's that syphilis causing. Oh, not the syphilis. Oh, Lord. Go get tested, you guys. Go get tested. Serious note. The Freakoff was everybody that they are covering up for that was involved. And this is why he wasn't charged with the RICO, because other people was involved. Miss Barbara, stop with the political thing. Stop it. Act normal. Shit. I wonder if his sons will face trial now too. Well, they have their own allegations, but it just seems to be civil for now. What's up, Dazzle? What's up, River? For those of you just joining, Diddy only got charged with 2 counts. One was no, both of them was for the transportation to engage in prostitution with Jane Doe and Cassie. Excuse me, and with Cassie. The prosecution was being greedy. Yeah, like I said, I expected more of them to show like contracts and show like the money, like actually lay it out and show the money. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. And then not having Christina Coram or the bodyguards testify, Fahim and D Rock, not having them testify, I think that worked against them. And now also too, I think it's another, how do I put this? It's hard to prove a RICO if you're just charging one person. Because you're trying to say Diddy is running a criminal organization. And on top of that, not only saying he's running a criminal organization, but does he know that he's running a criminal organization? Like, is he aware? I think that's also something that you have to look at too. Like, yeah, he's, paying for prostitutes, doing hotels and all this other freaky shit, right? But does he actually know, like, okay, what I'm committing is a RICO? Like, does he know that? He probably knows that hiring prostitutes is wrong, but as far as a RICO, like, we're doing this through the organization and all this other, like, he doesn't know that. But you have incidents where, he was beating on the girls, he was forcing them or tricking them into doing freak-offs. He also bribed people, he threatened people, he kidnapped someone. But I feel like they all just seen those as separate incidents and not just one big thing where it's all like, okay, this was a criminal organization. This is how they get down. This is how they do things. I honestly feel like there was not enough victims. I hate to put it that way, but yeah, it was not enough victims. Darcy, explain why you said a balance of power. No, he did not. HE2. The question is, what did Cassie do for that reaction from him? And that could have been a question too, as well. What I think that these women were not the perfect victim. I hate to put it that way, but they weren't the perfect victim. Um, for example, I think one thing that messed up Cassie was that, remember in 2018, she said that she was R-worded. And then after that happened, she ended up going back to Diddy, and then they had consensual sex. And then Alex even FaceTimed her. She was dating Alex at the time. They weren't married. She was dating Alex at the time. She went back to Diddy. She FaceTimed him while they were having sex. And so it was kind of like, wait, what's going on? Like, you did this after? What's up, Jackie? You did this after you said this man took advantage of your body? And then with Jane Doe, it just seemed like, okay, you don't want to work. You don't want to get you a job. And the fact that, you felt like you had to drop everything and then go back to, how do I say it? You had to drop what you were doing just to participate in these freak-offs. I think with these situations, it seemed that it was more, and I don't know how the jury felt, right? We won't know unless they do interviews. But I'm thinking the jury felt this is more of a choice than they were forced or coerced into doing something. Even though there was a power dynamic, we can't deny that there was a power dynamic. But there were situations and incidents where they chose to keep going back or chose to keep participating. And I think, and you got to remember, the jury is not online like we are all day, right? They're not online all day. They're not really looking into this. Like some of them, this is like their first time really hearing about this or really going through all the details. So to them, an average person who's not really paying attention or really know about all the freaky shit about Diddy, they're all like, "Oh, these girls kept on going back." And then you have to remember too, they had a chance to watch the Freakoff tapes, right? So if the Freakoff tapes were these like homemade videos and productions, and the girls seemed like they were willing to do it, like they seemed like they were enjoying themselves, and there was no moment where you seen like, oh, okay, maybe she was uncomfortable, or maybe she said no, she didn't want this or not. Like, I think that also played a role too. Like, oh, this was just some domestic shit. And I hate to cut it down and make it seem like it's not relevant, but in the sense of, okay, you're going to charge this man with RICO, sex trafficking, prostitution, like it had to be something concrete. Like, okay, there's a video of them engaging in sexual acts against their will or something to that effect. Even when it came to the drugs, like Diddy wasn't forcing them to do drugs necessarily. Like he'll say, "Hey, take this pill. You tripping or something like that, right?" Or the girls admitted they would take the pills to feel numb so that they can just go through the motion. So I think that also, if it was something like he was choking me and forced pills down my throat, I think that would have been different, right? But if you're saying like I just took the pill just so I can forget about it and just do whatever, that's when it goes like, okay, well, all right, did he really force and coerce you to do this, or did you willingly do this? And I think also too, the jury probably looked at this like, okay, well, these women seem like they lived a certain lifestyle. They lived and want to keep up with a certain lifestyle. And so in order for them to live the certain lifestyle, they did X, Y, and Z to keep this man happy. So they could have looked at it like that too, as well. And I think with Jane Doe, the physical violence that she experienced, that was late into 2024. Beforehand, she hadn't experienced any violence or anything like that. She didn't experience it until the summer of 2024. So that was another thing too. Like it was only one time where he had, and I'm not saying it's okay, by the way, you guys. There was only one time he had beat her and then had her do a freak off afterwards. It was only one time. Where with Cassie, there was more evidence of things happening and, her being beat. But I think also as well, because she kept going back, I think that, and I know they have the psychologist trying to explain kind of like Stockholm syndrome. Like that's what a lot of people are calling it, Stockholm syndrome, where the woman keeps going back, but she knows that she shouldn't. And it's like a trauma response, a trigger. And when you're mentally being abused, you sometimes don't think rationally, right? But I think what really messed up Cassie was the 2018 thing. After he, and trigger warning, I'm gonna say the word, after he raped her, she then went back to him while she was dating Alex, and then and I'm assuming that the jury probably looked at Jane and Cassie like, yeah, these girls are not these girls are not victims. or at least I don't want to say not victims. They were willing participants. Yeah, and I think also too, Shawnee, that also hurt them that they never did police reports or anything like that. They never had like a police report showing like, oh, they reported it to the police or they did this or that. Like it was like the only testimony that they had was from the friends. Now, luckily for Cassie, she did show pictures and marks and bruises on her body, so there was physical evidence of some harm being done to her. But I feel like they still took it as he said versus she said, and this was like a domestic violence situation, and not necessarily she is being forced into doing these things or doing these acts. Yeah, and again, I know some of y'all were eating me up saying, "AT2, what's a perfect victim?" Uh, there's no such thing as a perfect victim, right? But the women that they had testify had a lot of flaws. And because they had a lot of flaws, it did sway the jury in Diddy's favor. I feel like if the situations were more clean cut, I feel like Diddy would have been convicted on all the charges. I definitely do. Because again, you have to remember with Jane, with I know I talked about Cassie with the 2018, how she went back after the and all that, but also you have to remember too, Jane Doe was supposed to do a freak off with Diddy while he was in New York before he had got arrested. So Jane Doe was, still messing with Diddy, still doing the freak off and stuff like that up until he went to jail. So it's all like, well, damn, you still was doing the freak off even after the lawsuit, after this, after that, you still was doing it. So I think that also went against her as well too, because it's all like, damn, all these girls are still participating in these freak offs even after X, Y, and Z happened. And you can call it, being judgmental, but again, me and you, we've been covering this for a long time, right? The jurors, they're not on the internet like that. They're hearing it. So again, you have to remember the jurors are hearing this for the first time, a lot of these details, right? And also there's evidence that they get to see and hear that we don't get to see and hear, right? So with that being said, there's stuff to them that was presented as, okay, well, this just seems kind of like a one-off situation or a domestic violence situation, but it doesn't seem like a RICO or this whole criminal organization through the business. Now, I kind of wonder because I made a prediction, and there's a video that's going to come out soon that I did where I was saying Kanye more than likely is going to be next. They're going to try Kanye. Because again, Kanye, they didn't say he was the rapper that was at the freak off with Jane Doe, but more than likely it was Kanye. And we know that Kanye is obsessed with penis size and stuff like that. And he refers to his dick as being racist and all this other shit. So we can see that. Cassie was an accessory. Yeah, whoever had the freak off in Vegas, right? We don't know. I mean, we know. Not walking today, friend, but I'll owe you. Oh, Oh, how many of y'all think Diddy is walking? Do y'all think Diddy is walking today? Or he's getting out? Is it 1 o'clock yet? 11, 12, 1. Oh, yeah, it's 1 o'clock. UAB, my boyfriend went to Howard University. He would pay for my plane tickets, and no, that doesn't count, Allie. No. Just like we talked about yesterday, like with paying gas and stuff like that, does that count? No. Because again, that is your partner, that is your boyfriend. Now, did you guys hire prostitutes and stuff like that? That would be a little different, you know? What's up, Angie? How you doing? Hell no, not walking today. Okay. He's guilty on 2 charges, so no, he's not walking free. He can get up to 20 years for those charges, so it's not a win for him at all. Was two her friends told her to leave, and she said, and be with who? Jay-Z. Oh, yeah, that was another thing that hurt her. Like, yeah, who can I be with? Jay-Z? Yeah. And then also the text messages, and yeah. You think that he's going to be released? Okay. What's up, Purely Flesh? No, Tanya, no. Hiring now, the male workers, they weren't necessarily prostitutes, but I mean, if you pay somebody to have sex, that's prostitution. Like, no, that is prostitution, baby. It's prostitution. Now, maybe when, like, if anybody exchanged money for you having sex, that's prostitution. Like, technically, have I prostituted? Yes, because I have gotten exchange for money before. So, yeah, a lot of us is prostituted before, right? That's prostitution. If a misdemeanor holds a year in jail and no one particularly ever get convicted and do a year in jail, these charges are most definitely time served, slap on the back, and can even be appealed. Well, definitely, I think they're going to try to appeal it. Definitely. No, no, prostitution is illegal. No, no, no. They're strippers, and if they strip, that's one thing. Stripping is okay, but the Angels and Cowboys, they don't offer sex. Like, that's the thing, they don't offer sex. Like, that's illegal. Now, do the escorts do that? Yes, they do that, but they're not supposed to do that. The men were prostitutes, and when you move them state to state, that's a federal crime. Yeah. And maybe Diddy should have just huh. Maybe he should have just had them at one location. Princess, don't act like you ain't done it. Shit. Oh, shut up. A lot of y'all done shit for money. Don't be judging me, god damn it. I'll just mess with y'all, but shit, don't judge me, god damn it. Westmoreland and Brian Still did a phenomenal job. Oh, Diddy got some good lawyers. Let me tell you. Oh, y'all lying in this chat. No, and listen, that don't make you no whore. If you got your money, that don't make you no whore. That makes you business savvy. That's what that's called. Oh, I was confirmed for clarity. Oh, okay, got you. Princess got my back. Thank you, Princess. If he just get a boyfriend, yeah, I hope he just get a boyfriend. Diddy, listen, Diddy just need to get him a boyfriend with the biggest cock ever. Get him a boyfriend with the biggest cock. He'll be happy. That's what he wants, right? If you selling sex or accepting money for sex acts, that is the legal definition of prostitution. Yes. What's up, Tanika? The girlfriends would be more willing if it was two men who were part of the harem rather than random men. Yeah. But again, you got to remember, his thing was like the women were allowed to choose who they wanted, but he more or less chose the men that, yeah, the whole, him being in the other room and streaming their FaceTimes and the pictures and the videos, like, yeah. It's hard to say that Diddy is not. Yeah. I want to see how all his friends gonna act. I wonder if Diddy's gonna want to be around anybody. That's the real question, because the only person that came to see him was Kanye. So Kanye probably is gonna be his only friend, right? That's gonna be his only friend. Yeah, shit. I mean, because Ray J was talking shit. Jay-Z claimed that they weren't even that close. Meek Mill, French Montana, I don't see. At least if they all, like, if you didn't have my back, yeah, I ain't fucking with you. That's how I feel. It's not about picking. It's easier to accept the same two men versus revolving door of. Okay. Jay-Z and Beyonce was working behind the scenes. I don't know about that. I can't agree. He will make bail. P. Diddy is going to stab and expose everybody that did not help him unless he learned his lesson to be humble. I think him protecting the names of the Illuminati makes him safe. Sorry, Diddy should be done with anybody who didn't support him. Crazy Kanye was the only ride or die. That is true. Will this verdict re-empower Diddy to continue his? Oh yeah. If he get out of jail, he doing a Freakoff. We know that. Yeah, that's not even a question. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine, V. Not a revolving door. Yeah. That's what the lady said. Even if he couldn't have company, nobody spoke up and said this ain't right. He innocent. Yeah, no, nobody spoke up for him. Y'all be on here saying anything. True. He better not do the same thing again. Oh no, he's doing it. No, he is doing it. Trust me. That man can't wait to slather some baby oil on himself. First of all. But don't forget, he still got Gina. He still got Jane Doe. He still got a roster. That man still has a roster. So yeah. Regardless of morals, right and wrong, how do they not understand they are paid for sex, prostitution? He's done with Freakoffs for life. Let's do a poll real quick. I thought we was all on the same page, but maybe Tanya is the only one not on the same page. Do you think that Diddy will do more Freakoffs once he get out of jail? Yes or no? We won't hear. Oh, sugar walls. That's true. We won't hear about them. That yeah. No, nah, definitely. I don't think we'll hear about them. No, but will he be doing some freak offs? Yeah, he definitely doing some freak offs when he get out. It's gonna be, you know how they say like usually it'll last like for 3 days or something like that. It's gonna be something crazy. He gonna have a 3-day freak off. Oh, consensual love off. I like how you put that. Yes, more than ever. Because, like I said, now he's gonna get willing participants. He's gonna get willing participants this time, not go through a company and all that. He's gonna go down to his local bar and be all like, "Hey, I like you. You want to come over?" You know, he's gonna try to coerce them into, yeah, yeah. You ready for a consensual love off? Yeah. Is the Italian ready? Right. Y'all are crazy. Yeah, he definitely, well, he needs a couple of things. He needs sex therapy, rehab for his addiction and for drugs too. And I think also that played a role. Like they just kind of seen him as like a crackhead. They're like, oh, this guy was just doing drugs and shit like that. You know, he was just living the party lifestyle. Yep, I can see that. Definitely. Oh, abusers don't want. You have a point. That could be too as well. You're scared for his revenge tour. Mm. He is a crackhead. Diddy's a swinger, if you want to call it that. Uh, I'm expect some of these manstitutes to file lawsuits. Diddy is a junkie, becomes sexual deviant when he's high. Yeah, that was definitely a nice way of putting it. Yeah, swinger. Yeah. If he doesn't serve any time, nothing will change about him. He's gonna be more evil. I thought you didn't want him to serve any time, Miss Barbara. You feel like he need to serve a little time? Oh, and this is his first offense too. So they have to take that into account that this is his first offense. So um yeah, we're looking at a lesser sentence. Neo is next. Oh, with all his girlfriends. Hey, you never know. What's up, Bama girl? Is he going to prison? That's what they're trying to figure out right now. On CNN, it says judge decides whether to release Sean Combs pending sentencing. So yeah, we'll see. He's a crazy nut. The cocaine and the trauma is going to make him want everybody to suffer. That's why he needs rehab. Like, I don't know if they can instruct him for rehab. I think they would just give him a jail sentence, right? Mm, yeah. To be fair with the lesser charges, is kind of like, okay, if he was going to be charged with serious, then it would have to be the other counts. With it just being the transportation to engage in prostitution, it's kind of like it's the weaker of the weaker of the charges. So it's kind of like, I actually think Kanye is next. I need to go ahead and release that damn video. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work on that damn video. There's a couple of Diddy videos that I did in the studio, so I need to work on them now and then release them. Yeah. They had me thinking Freakoffs were like a room full of exactly. And I think also too, that's why a lot of people were not that interested in the whole Diddy thing, because all like, oh wait, it's not a whole bunch of celebrities on these tapes. It's just Diddy and Cassie or Jane Doe on the tapes. Like, we wanted more. It wasn't as salacious as we thought. I think that also why a lot of people were not interested anymore, as far as the prospects from the public. All right, y'all. Oh, make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell y'all to hit the like button, but I just kind of wanted to run that by you guys. We'll see what happens if he does get out of jail, or they're going to keep him in there and sentence him. So we'll see what happens. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here, but we out. Do